Greetings again, everyone. We're now heading on to Chapter 14, Designers and Technicians. Again, let me give you an introduction. This is interesting. The actor and the play script may be at the core of the theatrical experience. Everybody hear that? The actor and the play script may be at the core of the theatrical experience, but they are by no means the sum of it. Indeed, in the view of many spectators and participants, the primacy of acting and playwriting is extremely debatable, for acting and textual brilliance are not so isolated components capable of full expression in and by themselves. In even the most primitive of dramas, the theatrical experience always has a look and a sound and a shape, a visual and aural impact that can be achieved only through design. And the execution of that design always entails a measure of technology. In many ways and many times, the theater has had occasion to celebrate the artistic talent of its designers and the engineering capability of its technicians. For many of the world's greatest aesthetic and technological innovations have been made public primarily through theatrical exploitation. Therefore, in examining a play, it is hardly sufficient to inquire, what is it about? We must also ask, how does it look? How does it sound? How is it built? How does it run? These questions bring us face to face with an army of backstage personnel, the artists and technicians who create and make possible what Aristotle called the appearance, orchestration, and management of the theatrical experience. And, of course, we cannot get along without the technical side. If you've seen, say, Lion King, those animals are just phenomenal. And I mean the Broadway version of Lion King. And they've been on tour quite a bit. But it's phenomenal the way it's done. Of course, the playwright has a lot to do with it. But then the technical side of it, how they designed those animals to make the animals work the way they did. And it's just unbelievable. Another play called Phantom of the Opera. There's a boat that goes around on stage. Now, how do they get that boat to move around on stage? It doesn't go straight. It makes kind of an S-type travel. And it's really, really interesting to watch. And so the technical side of it, of course, is becoming very, very expensive. Those are $1 million sets we're talking about. But there's nothing you can do really nowadays with the advent of the computer and everything's like electronic. Just really neat how that works. But you still need all your designers, those that design the set, those that design the lighting and design the sound, design costumes. That's another big thing. Designing the props, that's all important. Designing the sets. And so to do all of those things, put them all together. And what they usually do is they have a production meeting, usually weekly, get together and talk about what they're doing. And the ultimate, who's the person that has the ultimate say-so? It's not the set designer, it's not the lighting designer or the sound design. It is the director has the final say-so, whether he or she wants to put this in or not put it in. But the designers, when I was directing anyway, the designers had a lot to say. I gave them a lot of leeway as to what to put in, what not to put in. And it made, because we are an educational institution, it worked a little bit better. But if you're on Broadway, the director has the say. And of course, he has a lot of good people to back him up. And besides that, everybody forgets the advertising. In order to put on a play, you have to advertise. People have to come. So at least here at the college, we advertise. We have leaflets that are handed out. There's some on the radio, some advertising on the radio, some advertising in the weekly newspaper. But that's about as far as it goes. The main thing that we work on is word of mouth. And of course, it's been great over the years to have the students wanting to come and see the plays. It's phenomenal. Oh, real quickly, let me tell you a quick story. over the 31 years that I was there, we have our, out in the audience. The audience has been there. Now, how many have I had to kick out of the theater in 31 years? Got to think about how many. What do you think? We have wild people that come in. At least they want to be wild people. But how many have I kicked out? And you probably guessed that I've never, ever kicked anyone out. There have been some people that have been loud, and I've told them to quiet down a little bit. And they've quieted down, and there's been some people leave. And that's okay, too. Some people don't like that type of a play, or they're tired, or they want to go eat, or something like that. But it's just really exciting. And that nobody ever has had to be called the police or anything like that. They just tell them to be quiet, and they're quiet. Now, in 1977, I did everything myself. I designed the sets, I built the sets, I directed, I was co-director, but I did have help at that time. Lee Williams was the man that was down from BYU to help me, and he was a phenomenal designer, had a genius IQ, and he could, photographic memory, just, you name it, but he could put it together, and he understood everything. So, as you go along, as you're enjoying yourself, reading chapter 14, talking about designers and technicians, it gets a little technical, but skim through it, and you'll get an idea of how really important designers and technicians are. Have a nice week.